God.
All
Penalty?
right.
No penalty. Okay. Not really.
The biohazard container.
Oh my, dude, I can't hit the net to save my life. Oh, I'm gonna make shit. I need to get off the ice.
10 seconds. 5 seconds and counting.
What?
Op 4 has located
And
the
Casey
biohazard
may have just
container.
confessed his feelings for me.
CK says hello. Sergeant Dropshot says I hit plat. Ah, that's cool.
Congratulations. I just don't play Siege anymore. I used to be really good, but you
Yeah,
know.
I know. Yeah. Ever since it became Advanced Warfare, this is my first time playing it since the Undoing.
Since the Undoing. Oh, I just took a penalty. That's a high stick. Alright, let's go to the penalty box. I'm still not #1 in penalties, and it kind of disappoints me. There's a guy leading me by 1 minute.
Killed himself?
Because net neutrality. Anyway.
You have entered an enemy controlled area.
Oof, it's been a while.
Oh, get rid of it! Nowhere
It
to
has
go.
been so long since I played this game.
Get checked, bud. I'll be there in a minute, boys.
Ping.
The puck. Fuck. Go.
Tuberman says still not diamond. No. Plat's still pretty good. I don't know. I mean, it used to be like, you know, like CSGO, whenever people would get ranked on CSGO or something, or ranked on this game, it's like, you know, it's not a game that, like, you know, I mean, if you're good at it, yeah, sure, but it's become Advanced Warfare, so that's like saying I'm, like, second prestige on Call of Duty. Like, it means fucking nothing, and, you know, it's a big waste of time. Like, now, if you said, you know, I don't know, I just feel like the ranking system, the game's not worth it, honestly. Well, I mean, still,
Alright,
though.
I'm at a minute 34. We're going off.
Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Like KD and points and stuff, you know. It's still a bad game, you know. Like, if it was a good game, I'd be like, nice, that's impressive, you know. And I'm not saying it's not drop shots. I'm just saying, like, I, no offense, I just don't care. I truly don't. Like, it's really hard for me to care about a ranking from a game that's this bad. Like, in its earlier days when Rainbow Six Siege was a lot like CS:GO in the fact that it was simple, you know. And then yeah, Solomon Kurtz, hi friend. Hey Solomon.
Here's the thing, I don't see
John
us
Fraser. Hey John, good to see you again.
On just that little bit of content that they had, and they survived for ever. You know what I mean?
CS:GO is still a good game though.
It's still going, and they don't even add new stuff. I mean,
Rainbow Six Siege.
And...
Rainbow Six Siege was like Call of Duty, CS:GO, and it is the way it is. Like,
oh my
originally,
God,
originally Rainbow Six Siege was like Rainbow Six Siege and CS:GO. Now it's become Rainbow Six Siege, CS:GO, Call of Duty Infinite, Advanced, you know, Oddity Warfare. You know, with all these fucking technology and shit. Well, it just, like, the technology doesn't make any sense. You know, no tactic.
5 seconds before insertion.
None of them make sense for me.
Jaeger? Jaeger? You said Jaeger. You said Jaeger.
Oh, I'm so bad.
Eh, it's like Thor, but I mean, you know.
Oh, I'm getting interrogated, damn it. Caviar makes sense, though, you know?
She'll chop your balls off. I mean, if you
Yeah.
don't tell her where your friends are, she's like, I'm gonna chop your nuts off.
I mean,
And nobody wants their
no.
nuts chopped off.
Well, no, that's...
Or she's gonna straight up
Caviar
cut your
makes
clit.
sense, but at the same
Like,
time it doesn't, you know? This... Every single operator is based off of a special police or special military unit, and every single special military unit or special police unit goes through intense training that, well, no, not doesn't have their own style. It's you know, operational security. You know, there is a standard. If you are captured for in any way, shape, or form, you recite your name, your serial number, and your unit and this country you belong to. You know. It doesn't and really bad interrogation techniques are used. Bandit would make more sense for someone who tortures people for information, because his video is literally him zapping two batteries together. You know, Caviera just puts a knife to the guy's throat. Like no soldier is going to be intimidated by a woman. No offense, but that's just the way it is. Men are often, especially men in the special forces, are not intimidated by a lot of things. And a woman wearing face paint with a knife is not that intimidating, you know.
tell me where your friends are.
You know, tell me where they are. More than likely, a hardcore SAS guy is gonna be like, "Fuck you, kill me." I could go through 90% of the operators in the entire game and tell you how they don't fucking make any realistic sense. You know. I mean, yeah, it's a competitive game, and yeah, it's you got to use the operators for skill and points and stuff. But it's just like I see that competitive gaming on this game about the equivalent of Call of Duty, any sort of Call of Duty. You know? Yeah. Alright, so Glaz. Let's see how Glaz makes sense. Okay.
I'm on my way now.
No, I do an overview, not his thermal, not what makes him Glaz. A sniper rifle that you can't put, that first you have to put a flip to side scope on. Flip to side is not realistic for a sniper. He would not put a red dot in front. It would not be a two-piece. It would be one solid scope. He would not be wearing the camo. He would be wearing would adapt to what he does, and his loadout is designed for, in the woods and stuff, right? Doesn't make any sense. Let's just grab another operator here. I can't really decide who I want. I'll just go. All right, so
my underwear was like all the way up on my nuts.
So let's talk. Yeah. Tell me an operator, because I can't see all of them. I can't think about it at the same time.
I'm gonna play some Rainbow. Forget that. Let's go. Come on, just like old times. Just play it. Joe, come on.
Well, I just got killed by this person. Hang on. No, I'm not going in game to talk to them. He just killed me for no reason. Love it. Love it.
10 seconds. 5 seconds and counting.
Dude, I'm so behind. I don't even know these new people's functions. I don't know the new map.
She would not, in real life, she would not have a combat role as a hacker. She would be in a command post, if anything. There's no point to having her as a combat operator. It does not exist. That is a tech specialist. Her ability makes sense for a command post situation. They would not put a gun in a tech specialist's hands like that. Outdated. So outdated. Don't know why he's wearing a gas mask for what reason exactly. There is no reason. And it doesn't work. Yeah. His makes sense, but they don't exist. Those little EMP grenades do not exist. Smoke makes sense, but it's illegal. Against the Geneva Convention's chemical warfare. Mute makes sense, but a signal disruptor like that would require a pretty strong power source. And he carries 3 of them, and he kind of pulls them out of his ass. And it only blocks a certain radius of things, which doesn't make any sense. If I was going to do something, you know, that's also a tech thing. That's generally done on the outside, or they've got a serious setup already done. You know, they would be plugged into a mainframe hard server or something, and it would all shut down. His thing is wireless, and if there's something that doesn't connect to Wi-Fi or a wireless signal, it's useless.
Wi-Fi hotspot.
Ash doesn't make sense because they wouldn't use something like that, a grenade launcher like that, because that's an M320 or an M203. The round makes sense. A breaching round makes sense. However, it's more of a competitive thing to blow open doors. I don't know if there's... I'm not... Yeah. 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 But...
I'll shut out invites whenever you guys are done and ready.
Alright, move to the next one. Who's... Thermite makes sense, however, they would never do... No, that Thermite exists in that form, but they're small. They're very small. They're very volatile.
They're
very dangerous. Very dangerous. Any sort of
those are like
ignition...
Those are like things you place on metal door locks, like not the whole
any
metal
form of
frame.
ignition, combustion, static shock sets that thing off and you're dead. Not to mention getting shot, of course. Any sort of castle, the dragon...
Where do you fit the barricade? Where do you put the barricade?
Placing it on the door above, like placing it on the main frame or the outside of a door, or like you anchor it up top, which, you know, it doesn't have any nails, it doesn't have any latches that screw in, that you would have to fan. It just falls down by gravity. And, you know, supposedly he has 3 of them of all shapes and sizes. Pulse doesn't make sense because, my fucking god, I can't do anything with this team.
Back out and squat up.
Nah, I'm just gonna...
Come on.
Pulse, most of those scans, okay, a heartbeat scanner is not done with a visual, it's more done with sound. It'd be a parabolic mic listening for a heartbeat, in which you would hear more than a heartbeat. The visual of seeing someone's heartbeat, a heartbeat doesn't give off a pulse. You know, I mean, it gives off a pulse, but, you know, if in any way, shape, or form, like, not to that extent, There's no device out there that could accurately measure something like that. That's handheld. Even if you're going to use like a seismograph hooked up to a camera that displayed a 3D image, or even an indicator, the seismograph would find footsteps before anything, or physical impacts. What makes a heart the thump is the noise of blood pumping, and you know there are louder things than a heartbeat, and there's nothing that you can just narrow into to find a heartbeat. There's no device out there. Twitch makes the least amount of sense because it's a drone that has
unlimited shocks.
taser. No, it has 15. It has 15 shots, but here's the thing: as soon as you fire it, it discharges the taser. Taser does not sound like that when it discharges. As well as a taser must penetrate your skin in order to shock you. It doesn't.
And there's nothing connecting the drone to the taser.
Exactly. You have to have shock wires, and then when you're done with that, you have to remove those shock wires and place a new one. You could have like 6 shock wires lined up, but there's still going to be wires. That would be even less sense. You'd have to have a straight arc, and that makes even less sense. You have to have 2 connecting points, and the operators, in a sense, are grounded because they're wearing rubber shoes, so it would not work. The taser has to penetrate through the clothing to make skin-on-skin contact. Both prongs have to make it to create the shock. For instance, the stun guns, right? The prongs are close together. It's more of a pain. The taser has a spread, so if you get hit in the leg and hit in the arm, you're gonna have an arc of electricity going from that point in your leg to that point in your arm. The larger the spread on the taser, the more immobilized you're gonna be. So Twitch does not make any sense. Montagne doesn't make sense because the glass. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't join. The glass in itself, bulletproof glass. Even still, there's only a limit to how much bulletproof glass you can put on a shield. The tops and the sides should be able to be shot through easily. The metal, it is not actual metal. It's a form of Kevlar, metal, and ceramic mix. You shoot the same spot over and over and over again with a rifle like a 5.56 rifle, or better, you're going to penetrate. You have to penetrate. Okay? The faster the bullet, the more penetration you're going to get. And that doesn't seem to work. So, anyways, moving on. Doc doesn't make sense because the pistol is a syringe. The syringe has to, if you shoot somebody in the chest, okay, assuming they're wearing a plate carrier, exactly. The thought is morphine, but the concept in and of itself that, if you're bleeding out,
you have to have something to engage the syringe.
Yeah, well, that as well. The syringe has to be able to make contact with the skin, so you can't just shoot them anywhere. Honestly, it probably needs to go to the bloodstream. Also, the only thing that would bring somebody back from bleeding out after being shot multiple times or having an explosion go off in their face, the only thing that will remotely help you at all is adrenaline. And the only reason that would help you is because you're going to ignore pain, but you're still going to be bleeding out. So if anything, when you get hit by Doc, you should be up, but you should have a timer before you die and bleed out completely. Okay? He's not
Second Life.
He's not plugging your wound. He's not taping you up. He's not sealing. He's not giving you any sort of hemostatic agents. He's just putting.
Join the game. Oh God. I think if anything, you should have a
that would fall under chemical
vial.
warfare, and that again is illegal against the Geneva Convention.
And I feel like you should have an actual syringe that he pulls out. It's like pop.
Rook doesn't make sense because a lot of these operators, they're already wearing armor. It doesn't make any sense to deploy tactical armor in a combat situation. You should already be wearing armor.
Dude, I don't know anything about these new operators.
They would already be wearing their level 4 ceramic composite plates or level 3 metal composite plates. The armor that they're wearing will be like putting 2 plates onto one. If anything, it should make you heavier because those plates are heavy. They weigh about 13 pounds apiece. Anyways,
You need to locate the biohazard container.
alright. Anyways, Tuba. More operators, please. What'd you leave off with? Are you just going off by country or whatever? Okay. Well, Rook was the last one. Rook, Dock, Montaigne. We already started, Casey. Jesus.
You told me to play around.
Insertion in 10 seconds. 5 seconds to go.
Yo, can I not spot? We're open area.
Location of biohazard container.
Who's the other
unknown.
French? Oh, Twitch. Yeah, that's right. Twitch was the other operator.
Biohazard
I'm.
container
Thank
located.
you.
Anyways, moving on to the Russian operators.
There's one upstairs.
We've already
Cabby's
discussed
downstairs, no
Plaz.
DJ.
Where is Cabby? Downstairs.
She was in kitchen. I don't know where she is now. Camera. Window open there.
Subject down.
Another spot on the guy upstairs. Hold down. Good shot.
You guys in the objective yet? Because I just engaged 3 people. Where I died, there was 2 of them, by the way. Just want to let you know.
Do I need help? See,
The drop shotting.
how did that not kill him? Thank you. Yeah, the drop shotting is extreme, dude. Like, that should have honestly killed him.
The technology they put into this game was influenced most likely by a lot of real-life devices that were given a competitive twist. The competitive twist is what made it unrealistic, because they were trying to keep everything equal, and 2, they were trying to make it so it's not like things aren't quote-unquote nerfed.
Dude, some
Unfortunately,
of the people are so small. I forgot
Unfortunately, the cancerous gaming community, calling for fairness, equality, sportsmanlike conduct, think warfare is all that in a box of chips. That is probably the most opposite it could be. Warfare is absolutely unfair. It was never intended to be fair. The only thing that and everybody was like, "What about the Geneva Convention? That makes things fair." No, that keeps things honorable and humane. The Geneva Convention was created because weapons were being used in warfare that made death painful when death should be quick, especially in warfare. It was to prevent unnecessary suffering. Fuse would be against Geneva Convention because it's cluster. Anything cluster is illegal in warfare. Capcan is a booby trap. I think booby traps are allowed, but at the same time I think there's actually some form of rule against booby trapping in the form that doesn't absolutely kill, like for instance mines, landmines. If they kill the opponent, I think they're okay, but if they do not kill and they're designed to maim or injure, which the game has now turned it into maiming or injure and not a kill, then it's illegal in the Geneva Convention.
5 seconds and counting.
Can be if they're already less than health.
Op 4 has located the biohazard container.
But in 99% of the terms in Ubisoft ways, it's illegal warfare. Moving on.
Where?
Probably the only one that makes sense, however, using the most outdated firearm possible. Russia is not about using outdated firearms. They're actually pretty advanced. They make their own weaponry. His helmet is also intended to be a tanker heavy helmet, able to withstand extreme explosions, concussions, and projectiles, as well as shrapnel. You shoot him in the head in this game, he dies instantly. Unrealistic, doesn't make sense. Outdated. Next. Blitz with the shield that flashes. That's probably the most realistic one out there, honestly. Those exist, that type of shield exists, that type of combat exists in a police state where riots and things like that happen. In any sort of form where the military comes in, no, they're not using
Yo,
it.
stairs. I need help. Joe, circle around the stairs.
Which stairs?
Those stairs.
I got her. I got her.
I killed one. No. Yeah. Or no, it might have been Twitch. Suppress it, Joe.
Oh! Am I the only one alive?
No, I'm down, but
Op 4 is securing the biohazard container. Stop the hostiles from securing the biohazard container. Mission
Good.
failed. All
Anyways,
friendlies were eliminated.
what was the other operator?
after this game, I'm gonna
IQ. That one, scanning electronic devices.
Yeah, I'll play a few.
IQ makes sense in the fact that it scans for devices that are electronic, right? Anything that runs on batteries or any form of electricity. Well, batteries don't give off any form of signal. They give off maybe, and if you're scanning for electronic devices, light bulbs, light fixtures, internal wiring, any device, you can see cameras, you don't see lights, you don't see
Find the
computer
biohazard
monitors,
container location.
you don't see these police lights that are flashing, you don't see the computers, you don't see, you don't see the phones of the operators that are running around.
Nicely done. The biohazard container has been located.
That's people's phones runs on batteries. Because it's not actively on doesn't mean it's not actively on. So that in and of itself, the device having the ability to filter out those things does not exist, and therefore IQ doesn't make sense.
10 seconds before insertion.
And even then, the device sits on her arm, and it's a phone in and of itself.
Hey, they're getting ready to peek back alley if that's where we spawn.
All right, what's the next operator, Tuba?
Biohazard container and secure it.
Jaeger with the anti-grenade devices. It exists, like he said, it was intended for tanks. He made it smaller. Now the odds of him, the operator, creating something like that, having the engineering technology background to do that, and have the combat experience that he does, and being involved with the German police, unrealistic, does not make sense. The device in and of itself might make sense, but probably not. No.
No. One right above me, Joe.
Okay. Smoke killed me. He's low on health. He's in objective in the server room. Who will be the next operator?
So you have a nasty angle on this, Joe.
What was the next one? Bandit? Bandit carries around 4 heavy car batteries. You ever held a car battery? They're pretty fucking heavy. He has them wired to copper, to the outside of a copper metal frame. Okay, meaning he can hook up wires and it'll put off that amount of electricity. In which, when he sets them down, he doesn't actually connect them to any metal surface. He just sets them up against it. They're anchored. They don't move. I mean, the only thing he does is
where's
he
Cavi?
connects. He makes the connection happen. Something
That's where I'm
has to
going.
be something has to be touching the copper pipes on that device in order for it to become electrified. And for instance, if you've ever doing the barbed wire does and doesn't make sense, because if you've ever taken a 9-volt battery and steel wool, it heats up the steel wool and then creates sparks and eventually it burns off. Putting a car battery, a large car battery, in concertina wire like that should technically heat that up to the point where it's sparking and melting. Putting it against a metal wall, maybe. But you're more likely to you're more likely to get a better energy output for that than taking a power cord for
No,
a
I'm about to
laundry
get flanked.
machine,
I feel it.
cutting off the end, plugging it into the wall, and then taping it to the wall.
Is that you?
The car battery doesn't make sense.
Oh, right here, right here. Right here, he's on top of me.
Down to one friendly.
I didn't realize that wall was soft. You missed your first, like, 4 shots. On my screen, you were right to the right over.
You only hit her once on my screen.
Yeah, yep.
He wouldn't be asking that much. Deluxe says RIP. I know, right? Okay, what's the next operator? I don't know.
Secure the room. We need to protect the biohazard container.
The base operators in and of themselves are relatively unrealistic. Just the mechanics, the logic, or the functionality of them. They are all built around competitive gameplay, which is fine. Arma is a better Rainbow Six Siege game because, I mean, Arma has everything that's realistic, and it does the exact same thing. These metal walls, the metal walls don't exist. It's just a competitive thing. It's just a competitive thing.
Or has failed to find the biohazard container.
Reinforce wall!
Who's covering that window?
Got one more out there. Right there.
Yeah, they didn't even get a shot off before he smacked me in the ass.
Hey, keep him distracted real fast.
Go, Connery, go. They're out there. What are your shots, dude?
Hello? How did that not hit anybody?
You hit the wood. You know, because wood is apparently something that really is non-bulletproof.
On drive!
I think as soon as I get a PC, I think the only thing that I'll ever play again will be Arma.
Op 4 has found the biohazard.
Arma,
Stop the hostiles
DayZ,
from
Arma
securing the
Life.
biohazard
Arma
container.
Life is
Prevent
fun.
further access to the biohazard container.
Connery. Your phone's going off, buddy.
I don't care, bud.
Is it ringing?
It's just she wants.
You know you have
to
one behind you,
be-
right, Connery? You know you have one right behind you. He's down below you. It's Blackbeard, right there. I think he's AFK. You should go for it.
If you
Oof.
remain in this zone, you
Ooh,
will be
Connery.
detected by
Ooh,
hostiles.
Connery.
Your location has been compromised.
Jesus, Connery. Kill the fucking asshole. Ooh, good idea.
One Op 4 remaining. Op 4 eliminated.
Nice.
Mission successful.
Tell me what to do, Tuba.
Doesn't make any sense. It's a bear trap.
Shut
It's a device that's meant to capture. However, it does injure you. It could break legs.
Dude,
If
these Twitch things.
it
God.
just doesn't exist. Like that sort of thing doesn't exist. A bear trap exists, yeah, but not in the sense that they're talking about. Deluxe says GG. Buck makes sense. He's got a master key on the bottom of his shotgun, or on the bottom of his M4. That makes sense. He's the only operator other than Blitz that makes sense so far. So 2 operators make sense. Valkyrie having cameras, having circular cameras
You need to locate
with
the
glass
biohazard
around them that sticks to any surface you throw them at. They have a large blue light. So the blue light is there for competitive. The throwing them anywhere doesn't make sense. You should have to plant them and mount them somewhere
Yeah,
that you can
how do
reach
they always
physically.
land on the same side? How do you know they're not gonna like hit the camera side and like bounce and break the camera?
Also, she's a female and a Navy SEAL. That, to this day, does not exist. As of known records right now. No single female has ever passed BUDS training, United States Navy SEAL BUD training, ever, in the history that the Navy SEALs have existed. Does not exist. Every female that has tried to do the Navy SEAL BUDS challenge has dropped out on request. DOR. Every single one of them. Without fail. Every single one of them has dropped out on request.
Hey. She's there. She's gone. She's lit. That would be her. I could have knifed him.
Jesus. Went through and just blasted him.
Okay, I really could have knifed him.
Yeah.
I
Blackbeard
think I
doesn't make
still got
sense
it.
because a scar, yeah, a scar is good, but it also doesn't really make sense. We're coming, Casey. Will you calm down? The ballistic shield, the ballistic glass shield being mounted on a weapon, is probably the most unrealistic shit that I've ever seen. A Navy SEAL would never equip that. Navy SEALs would most likely never be called to respond to a situation in which they would use a ballistic shield. And they've changed the dynamics of that ballistic shield so many times, so it's just unrealistic. It doesn't exist. Yeah. It doesn't exist. It does not. Oh, the Desert Eagles as well. Desert Eagles for the Navy SEAL team, the most unrealistic shit I've ever seen. They would not use Desert Eagles. Next. We've already spoken about Caveira being, there's no way that a female operator is going to be able to intimidate any operator enough with a knife to extract information. There's no way that person is going to know the exact moving location of the person. It's a competitive thing only. I'll move on to Capitao. Having a crossbow that fires fire, technically fire would count under the clause of napalm, because, you know, you shoot it, it explodes. It is a fire. Well, combustion in the form of napalm, though. It's the flames that burn you to death. It prolongs the suffering of death, and therefore it would be illegal by the Geneva Convention. So, conventional warfare, it'd be completely illegal. The gas is a smokescreen. That's the only one that makes sense. That and he's also got an eye patch. As soon as you lose an eye in any special forces, you're retired. You've lost your combat effectiveness. You're done. Like, you're done. The thermite devices being launched from that don't exist because it'd be an electrical thing. Just doesn't exist. The drone technology to be able to launch or create the sound of a sonic boom. A sonic boom is created when an item or object travels faster than the speed of sound. That's when a sonic boom happens. Nothing. There is absolutely nothing a drone could do to make something travel faster than the speed of sound.
Good work. The biohazard container has been located.
Nothing.
Insertion in 10 seconds.
We are waiting on the rest of the list of operators, so I can tell people how unrealistic and
Biohazard container located.
and more of competitive gameplay they were designed for. I don't fucking know.
Just picture everybody naked. You not fuse weight? Thank you.
Throwing frag.
Uh-oh, those grenades didn't go the way I wanted them to.
You good, Joe?
Nope. Could really use some help. Kind of going all in right now. Could really use help.
I can't make it to you.
Ooh, I could get an ace, I think. Someone went outside. That person's already dead, I think.
Cover me. Reloading.
They're coming up to me now.
Four last operators.
Oh my god. I got a 4.
I stole your race. I'm sorry.
I got a 4. No, it's all good, bro.
I knew
got a
I knew
4.
right where he was the whole time.
Echo, what about him? He doesn't exist. that sort of tactical operator would not exist. The Spanish operators, I think, were the next ones. Okay, so Jackal and Mira, those are the only two. Mira does not exist because to penetrate through drywall, wood, or even steel, you're not just gonna cut through that. There's no device that just slices through that. Oh my god, Casey, look at Jaeger. Oh my god, he looks so good. To cut through that and then to have glass that is because the glass is quote unquote pressurized makes that glass impenetrable. No. So first, cutting through the wall. No. Second, having gas pressurize something so it's a flat surface, not a cavity, so that it is bulletproof. No, doesn't exist. She has 2 of them, I believe. Those things have to be heavy. Doesn't exist. As well as they come out of nowhere. Doesn't exist. Next, Jackal. The idea that footprints leave behind the signature that does in Jackal's thing.
5 seconds left.
The idea that you can track someone's footprints on a flat surface using a digital image of them The idea, if that's the case, that you should see every single foot or boot print that has ever been through that area. Ever been through that area. Workers, operators, cleaners, they're killing each other. Anybody who's ever been on that floor, if the floor was uncleaned, people that evacuated, people that worked there, I highly doubt that they evacuated and then scrubbed the floors. So you should see every single person's footprint that ever walked through there. And it would not give off a heat signature either. So Jackal doesn't exist. The idea that a camera device that comes out in front of your head picks up a thing that looks like a boot print, probably not. Next. What does Ella do? Is it the flashy things? Oh, the concussions.
Mines.
So what do they do? What do the concussion mines do?
They give you temporary blindness.
That one makes sense. The device in which they are doesn't make sense. But the concept makes sense. If I throw 6 flashbangs into a room at the same time, yeah, they're gonna have the exact same effect. He's hanging from the window. Outside. Nice, Gunnery. Alright, next operator.
They'd have to be the same exact type of ammunition, which is very hard to
Yeah,
do.
you'd have to fit both of that
the same
ammunition
exact
into
dimensions.
the launcher. Firing something that is impact grenade or impact is very dangerous because literally anything in front of you is gonna make it go off. So yeah, easily. If it's an impact, it's assumed that it's armed before it leaves the gun. So if you bump your gun against something or you drop your gun, it's gonna go
Or you
off.
drop the shell.
You drop the shell loading it, it's gonna go off. So no, probably
Locate
not.
the biohazard container.
Who's next? Okay, Ying does what exactly?
Nicely done. The biohazard container has
Why am I getting bars on my drone? What operator is this?
10 seconds to go.
Okay, so Ying... Is this Ying right here? What is he doing? What does Ying do?
Biohazard
Okay.
container located. Proceed to its location.
Oh, so it... Blitz? Blitz or Fuse? So he has... I was about to say, Blitz has a shield. The fuck? How are they deployed? The concept is realistic. The execution doesn't exist. Concept is realistic. Fuck me, that was so stupid and unrealistic. I'm downed. I'm downed. I'm downed. I'm next to Kunri and Tuba. Never mind, I'm dead. The concept makes sense. The execution it doesn't make sense. Who's the next one? Legion? Unrealistic chemical warfare. And booby traps. Booby-trapped chemical warfare. Definitely unrealistic. And
Need
illegal.
help. He's in the hallway.
So, unrealistic and illegal.
He's, dude, that dude's got to be lit. Did you see that, Joe?
Yeah.
Throwing flashbang.
Nice counter. Oh, right at the same place. They're both hanging up against that wall. If you go right there and light them up, you're good. Just fire in that door. That door. Another one. There's another one to the left.
Don't see him.
Hostile activity. Resume securing the container.
I don't have any ammo. Right here, right here, right here.
Connery went in there with an empty fucking gun.
I thought I saw low ammo and I was like, I got at least 10 and I shot 3 and I was like, oh crap.
Autismo Gamer, welcome my boy. Welcome.
Autismo? Alright, Casey, I played one with you, I gotta go to bed. We should start doing this again, if we can actually tolerate the game.
It'd be the new ones, the brand new ones, wouldn't it? Okay, so what does Dokkaebi do? Autismo Gamer, all moved in? Almost. We're about an 85, 95%. Oh yeah, Dokkaebi would not be in a combat role, would not have a firearm. Wouldn't make sense.
Crap.
Yeah,
I
would not
didn't do
make
that.
sense for her to have a firearm. Not because she's a woman, but because her MOS, her military occupational specialty, is a technician specialist. She'd be in a command center from afar. Anyways, next.
Yeah, I'm jumping out of here. I'm getting off. Boys, have a nice night. I don't know if I'll be.
What does
I probably
Vigil
won't be
do?
around tomorrow.
Okay, so the idea that you can hide from a drone, that goes by sight, direct sight, that does not go by radar or sonar or anything that you bounce a signal off of and then determine a location. The idea of digital image camouflage, the only way you'd be able to do that in any form is a green screen. So she'd have to be wearing all green. He would have to be wearing all green. He would have to wear all green, and the camera would have to be programmed for green screen or blue screen effect. To mask yourself using reactive camouflage, where something that sees you by sight can't see you, but a person can see you, is unrealistic and doesn't make any sense. The only thing that would make any remote amount of sense would be camouflage from thermal imaging, and those exist on tanks, and that's because most drones and airstrike devices rely on thermal imaging and heat signatures in order to find a target. So that's the only concept that I'm aware of with that. Exactly. So he's carrying the disruptor. But we've already discussed mute. It still wouldn't make sense. Yeah. So there's only... Yeah. 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 So currently the only two actual realistic make sense operators that exist, Blitz and Buck. That's it. Tachanka, no. Well, time-wise, maybe. But, well, the DP-28 is so outdated. The Taliban doesn't even use DP-28s. That's how old they are. Dude, DP-28 is a World War II weapon. No, there's no way.
Protect the biohazard container.
And Sledge carrying a hammer, if it was a... Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Reinforcements in place.
Yeah.
Op 4 located the biohazard.
And then
Loading mag.
who was the other one that you thought was realistic?
Down to 10 seconds.
If Sledge, yeah, back in the day, but if Sledge had a Halligan tool and not just a hammer, then it would be more
Op
realistic.
4 has located the biohazard.
If it was a Halligan tool, it would be realistic. Yanks, Jan says rage already. I might rage if you leave me a like and something stupid happens in the game. Of course, I haven't really had something stupid happen yet. Nice, Tuba. Didn't even fucking see his ass. My damn scope was in the way. Jan says, what made you play this game? I don't know, I just figured I'd try it after a little while. Oh. I wanted to play a game. Something wrong with that? Netflix is not a game. Oh, that gun sounded neat.
One friendly operator remaining.
Great.
One Op 4 remaining. Protect the biohazard
On the left.
container. All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure.
Holy crap, this TSM Deadshot's had a 1918 connection. Damn. Yep. Had an 18 connection. TSM Deadshots did. Now he's got 15. What is he playing in Ubisoft headquarters? The fuck? No, they wouldn't.
You need to locate the biohazard container.
What is this? Is this an open or closed party? Jan says, I'm gonna go to bed, drop the like, and post notifications for you. Thank you, sir. Tell everyone I said goodnight. Jan says goodnight to everyone.
10 seconds. Well done. Biohazard container located.
After this game, I'm gonna end my stream.
Proceed to the biohazard container and secure it.
The fuck? No. I'm in here. Can I have some help? Please?
Last operator standing. Good job. Container secure.
Damn, boy. Makes sense. Makes sense. Did I went in there and killed Cav, Mira laying on the floor, Castle, someone else. Or not someone else, maybe. It is what it is. Who cares? Yeah. Yeah. Siege is fun sometimes, it's just can be a real stupid game.
Secure the room. We need to protect the biohazard container.
What was the poll? There's only 3.
Op 4 drone has found the biohazard container.
So only 3 people didn't want to do it.
Down to 10 seconds.
Well, it's not a big deal.
5 seconds left. Protect the biohazard container at all costs.
That's not a big deal.
Loading mag.
Fucking hate this shit, dude. Oh my god. Squeeze the trigger and he just... No, wait, progresso. No, I'm not. Have we lost the game yet?
Op 4, last stop standing.
Gamer match. You're just gonna leave? We got 2 more rounds to win.
You will be detected if you remain in this area. Your location has been compromised.
We have some closed-minded people. But nah, it's not.
If you remain in this zone, you will be detected by hostiles. You will be spotted.
Setting nitro.
Oh my god, this was such a bad kill. Why is he teabagging? That was not a good... He missed his first shot! He shot the wall. How bad can you be that you miss your first shot? Yeah. Absolutely.
You need to locate the biohazard container. Good work. The biohazard container has been located.
This will be an easy game.
10 seconds. 5 seconds to go. Proceed to the biohazard container and secure it.
The rappel mechanics don't make any sense. Oh, okay.
1 op 4 remaining.
Loading new mag.
Oh, what a trade. What a poor trade. Wait, what? Oh. Yeah. Does not matter. It's all good. I don't care. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and I should see you maybe sometime tomorrow.